little sea lights bid adieu to the old friends and the fools singing the new songs. We've roamed all my old haunts. Life may fade but never die. There's a place for you and I, quite well known to the artists who have known. I raise a glass for every note, every distant dream and hope that may find change they seek in their mind. Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I remember the day today on an absolutely beautiful spring day here in the UK. It really is lovely. It's about 19 degrees outside, which for us at this time of year is just unheard of. So glorious weather. I apologise for any singing I may have done in the introduction. I'm not sure whether I'm going to dare to include that as the introduction, but I do like that song, which I recommend to you. It's called Swan Song, and it's by a band called Amble, and they have a debut album coming out, I think, later this month, and I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. And apologies for butchering your song, Amble. Anyway, what are we doing today, Sudoku-wise? Let's enough wibbling from me. We're doing a puzzle called Exhausting by BremSter and Sotek, two giants of the Sudoku world. It's Fog of War, as you can see, and Mark has recommended this one to me. Mark has been busy recently trying to construct difficult Fog of War puzzles, because we've been finishing off our Fog of War app, and we wanted a couple of really hard puzzles at the top end for sort of the final bosses. And I know Mark has been finding it incredibly difficult to create hard Fog of War puzzles because of course you can only show so much, and if you don't have really strange rules, it's really difficult to come up with something clever. And Mark had a go at this puzzle, and he says this is genuinely a very clever and difficult Fog of War puzzle. So I'm intrigued. I'm going to have a go at it. I found it on Logic Masters Germany. It's got 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty, but the rules are completely bog standard. There's no trickery here. So BremSter and Sotek have achieved difficulty and cleverness without having to resort to difficult rules. Well done them. And I will read you the rules in a moment or two's time, and we'll have a go at the puzzle together. Or you can have a go at it first, as usual, on the channel by clicking the link under the video. Now, what else do I need to tell you about before we kick off today? Just a couple of things. Over on Patreon, we have got our brand new, Blobz's brand new Sudoku hunt, which loads of you have been enjoying. Oh, it's in the right place today. So as of yesterday, 693 of our patrons had solved the whole thing, and the competition runs until the 20th of March. So plenty of time left. Let's see whether it went up much overnight. 693 is, yes, there's another 50, well, more than 50, 756. Fantastic. So if you're a patron, do have a go at this. The puzzles are spectacularly good, as always, from Blobz, and they aren't monstrously hard at all, so they're achievable by everybody, and you will enjoy it. And if you're not a patron, do think about it. You will get a lot of fun out of it, and the competition prize is a chance to make a Sudoku video with me, which might not appeal. I completely understand that. But somebody who did agree and seemed to enjoy making a Sudoku video with me was Hugo Schneider, the great polymath and musician from the States. And the video we made together is going out on the channel tomorrow morning at 10 AM UK time. Definitely check that out. You'll see, if you watch that video, that Kurt is a very clever man. Now, I've also got, let me move that out of the way and grab my list of birthdays to read out. Let me look at this. We'll start off with George. George, you have turned the big 3-0 today, and I know this because your wife Danny wrote to us and told me that the two of you watch every night before bed. You're both golfers as well, which I fully approve of. And I think you are on a surprise trip, so hopefully it's not a surprise anymore, to London this weekend to celebrate George's birthday. and you may have been to see the Book of Mormon, which I have seen and I very much liked. Although I will say, I saw it with two elderly relatives, and it was quite difficult to sit next to them through parts of it. I will not deny that. But anyway, George, I hope you had a very, very good birthday and many happy returns, and I'm sure you had some chocolate cake. Next, Gethin. Gethin, you turned 20 today. I found your writing style very amusing. I don't know if you have ambitions in life to be a writer, but I think you could be. You told a story in your email of your mother walking in on you while you were watching a solve of a J Dyer puzzle, and your mother being flabbergasted. Anyway, and you're going to only have a blasphemous amount of chocolate cake, you said, which apparently is very little indeed. That's not the amount of chocolate cake you should have on your birthday. But your excuse was that you once had a Minecraft grass block themed cake in a previous year, and that effectively was just an enormous block of sugar. So you've sort of gone off sugary things after that. Anyway, Gethin, I hope you have a great birthday today, and thank you for the email. Next, James, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your good friend and puzzle buddy Paul wrote to us. The two of you do the puzzles on the channel together over Zoom. That's great. That is great. And James, I have to wish you all the best from the Ely gang. And I hope you're feeling better as well. I think when Paul wrote to us originally, you were a little unwell. So I hope you're on the mend, and I hope you're able to have a great birthday today. And then finally, Bokka. Bokka, it's your birthday. And I know this because your friends Joris and Pauline in the Netherlands wrote to me and said that you might appreciate a shout out. I think you're a Sudoku constructor as well. And I'm pretty sure Mark did one of your puzzles on the channel last year. So Bokka, I hope you have a great birthday today, many happy returns, and I hope you get an enormous amount of heavily iced chocolate cake. So that's all the news. Let's turn our attention to BremSter and Sotek's puzzle. It's called Exhausting, and the rules are as follows. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits cannot repeat along the main diagonals. Okay, so we can sort of see that under the fog look. So what does that mean? It means those cells have to contain different digits. So one set of the digits 1 to 9, if you like, and these cells have that property as well. Some of the grid is covered with fog. Placing correct digits in cells clears the fog from all adjacent cells. So it's normal fog today, not dynamic fog. So normal fog means, let's say we got this digit, it would clear the fog from all those squares. If we got that digit, it would clear the fog from all those squares. There is no need to guess in Fog of War puzzles. BremSter and Sotek will have designed the puzzle so that we can do it purely logically. Because, of course, I believe there are people who think the idea is to sort of go to this square and enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And obviously one of them will be correct and it will clear the fog. That is not the idea of these puzzles. You will ruin it for yourselves if you do that. So don't do that. Try to do it logically. And there's only one more rule. It says digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. Digits may not repeat within cages. So those 3 digits sum to 6, those 3 digits sum to 7, and let's say there was a cage that looked like that in the puzzle, then there would be a number in the top left corner. The green cells would add up to that number, but what we couldn't do is repeat a digit, so that cell could not be the same as that cell if this was a cage, because although those don't appear to see each other, from a Sudoku perspective, you cannot repeat a digit in a cage. That's all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking and let's see what Mark admired so much. I mean, I have to say that I think it's surprising to me, because this seems to be a bit of a gimme start, isn't it? I mean, just in the sense that a 6 cage must be 1, 2, 3. That's the only way we can do that. A 7 cage must be 1, 2, 4. Another 7 cage must be 1, 2, 4. Now there are different options for 9 cages in 3 cells. There are 3 options, in fact: 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4. They are the 3 ways of us doing that. I tell you what I might do, if it's okay though. I might just put in the diagonals. Let's go and have a look over here. And we'll just make sure that we keep track of the fact that we have to keep the digits on the diagonals distinct. Now, how are we going to get a digit here? We're going to get a digit by writing 3 in the corner, I think. I think this is a 3, isn't it? That's going to be the first digit. You're going to get more singing by me. I'm so sorry about this. I think this is right. Yeah, I mean, the way I'm seeing that is that those 4 digits are clearly a set of the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4, aren't they? And the 3 in that set of digits is in this pair. But exactly the same is true of column 1. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, the 3 of which is in this top domino. So if I need to put a 3 in those squares and simultaneously those squares, that corner digit, that's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So now, well, now this can't be a 4 because I've got this 1, 2, 4 triple now in row 1, the 4 of which is in this domino, so that can't be a 4, or it would prevent me putting a 4 in one of those 3 squares. And by symmetry almost, we've got the same in column 1. This can't be a 4 either. In fact, perhaps an easier way to see it is that those 2 digits are the same. Yes, I see. Right. So this is very pretty, actually. So now I want to look at this square, I think. This square is a middly digit, by which I mean it is not a 1, 2, or a 3. It is a 4, 5, or a 6. And the way I'm seeing that is almost sort of colouring in my mind. So let's make that square blue. That square's clearly that digit, isn't it? Now this square is not blue, so it's, let's say, orange. Now that square is therefore orange. So we've got blue and orange, a 1, 2 pair. We don't know what the order is, but they're looking at this square. This square cannot now be blue or orange, so it cannot be 1 or 2, and it can't be 3 on the diagonal. So that square has to be 4, 5, or 6, because we can't put any digits higher than 6 in a 9 cage. So these squares are now low digits. Every 3-cell cage that sums up to 9 has to have 2 low digits in it. It has to have 2 of the digits 1, 2, and 3. So now, and it's got to have at least 1 of the digits 1 and 2. I don't feel like it can have both of the digits 1 and 2. This is a very peculiar. It's a very peculiar deduction. I don't think this can be a 6. Now the reason for that is strange. But if this was a 6, these are a 1, 2 pair to get us up to 9. But that would make this square blue and this square orange. And if this square is blue, obviously this square is blue and this square is orange. And what I'm seeing there is that in the middle box, I feel like this would be a Schrödinger cell. I'm not explaining that very well. It's something I can see, but let me try and explain it a bit better. So, obviously, let's just do it like this. So we would be in this world, I believe. If this was a 6 in the corner, this would be a 1, 2 pair. We know each of these boxes going round the grid has a 1 and a 2 in it. So now they've all got 1s and 2s in them. But the challenge here is going to be, where are we going to put the orange and the blue digits on the diagonals? Now, The blue digits, let's look at the negative diagonal, this one, sometimes called the negative diagonal because it would have a negative gradient if we plotted y versus x. Now you can see that blue can't be in these squares and it can't be in these squares, so blue has to be in one of those. The same is true for orange. But simultaneously, blue and orange also have to be in these squares, and the only square that meets those criteria that will work for either blue or orange is the middle cell. But it can't be both 1 and 2 at the same time. It just can't. So this is wrong. And, okay, so we're going to have to, hang on, I'm going to have to now unwind all of those pencil marks we just made. So I'm going to restore 4 to these. I'm going to remove 6 from this square. And I'm going to get stuck, aren't I? Okay. I mean, no. This isn't... No, it's not. I was going to say it's not Fistamafel, is it? Just, you always have to be a little bit aware of Fistamafel when you're given stuff that looks like it's approximating to 2x2s in the corner of the puzzle. Fistamafel is the theorem that tells you those digits are the identical digits to these 2x2s in the corner. The reason I was thinking about that is I've got a lot of 1s and 2s in this perimeter, but I know that there's a 3 in here, don't I? Because this can't be a 1-2 pair. So I've got 2 3s in the Fistamafel ring. At least. I could have more 3s if that was a 3 or that was a 3. No, hang on. I'm overcomplicating this. Let me just think about this a bit harder. One of these digits is a 1 or a 2. Because this is either 2, 3, 4 or it's 1, 3, 5. Oh, my phone is buzzing at me. Can't see how to do it. Bobbins. Well, okay. No, that's true. Oh, I see. That's very clever. Good grief. Right. Okay, one of these, and I don't know which one, is a low digit. So let's just imagine it's this one for the sake of argument. It's clearly not the orange low digit, is it? So it's a blue low digit. But if that's true, that corner digit is a 4. Now let's, on the other hand, pontificate that this square is the 3, in which case this is the low digit, the 1 or the 2, so it would be orange, and this square would be a 4, because it would see a 1-2 pair. So one of those digits is a 4, and that means this digit is not a 4 and it is a 5. Oh, bobbins. Okay, well that nearly worked. It got me, I can't actually see. Let me just have a look under the fog here. What's that doing? Nothing. Ooh, okay. That's a worry. Now, because I can see there's a cage here. And I can see, can you see that tiny bit of grid furniture in the sort of northwest of this cage? Telling me that this is in a different cage, or telling me this cell is not in this cage. So I can see that there's a cage that does that, but I'm always very nervous about this in puzzles. I really hope that's not necessary to solve the puzzle, to spot that tiny bit of grid furniture there. I'm going to assume I don't know that actually, because I always find that a bit, it's asking too much in my opinion of people who are new to Sudoku. But Mark knows I don't like that sort of thing, so I presume I don't need to know that. So now I've got 4 1s in the Fistemafell ring. What? Yeah, I mean, again, it's unnecessary. What I'm noticing is I've got a 1 in all of these triominoes around the grid. So one way of thinking about that would be to look at these rows and columns and to say, okay, where are the 1s? Now clearly, because there's a 1 in the triomino in box 1, none of those squares can have a 1 in. None of these can have a 1 in. None of these can have a 1 in. And none of those can have a 1 in. So we can do that pencil mark if you like. Ah, no, it's much easier. Sorry, I forgot the diagonal. Okay, so where is 1 on each diagonal? This is very pretty as well, isn't it? Because look, on the negative diagonal, the 1 has to be in one of those squares, and on the positive diagonal, the 1 has to be in one of those squares. And the only square that meets both of those criteria is the central square, so that is a 1. Okay, and I'm going to get this digit, but I can't actually see what that digit is under the... Oh no, do I not know? Is it? That's really mean. Oh, sorry, I presumed it was going to be that this thing... Oh no, it does. Okay, yeah, okay. That is apparently a 3. So we can do that. We can write 2 in there. So if the 1 is in this cage, I can at least see the total in this. This would be a 1. Oh, well, the 1 isn't there, is it? So this would be a 1-8 pair. Or there's a cage here that's definitely going there. Right, so let's get rid of 1s from all of those squares. Right, okay, so 2 in column 3 is restricted by Sudoku. It can't go there, can't go there, can't go there by Sudoku, so it's in one of 2 places. 2 in... Oh yeah, lovely. Where's 2 in row 3? It's in the same positions that I've pencil marked 1. So this is a 1-2 pair. These 2 squares here. So in fact, they are orange and blue in some order. What on earth do I do now? Hang about, what on earth do I do now? Is it, oh, maybe it's the... I worked out, didn't I, one of these was a 4. Oh, hang on, one of these is a 1. Right. Oh, hang on, no, I'm not sure I do understand this actually. Yeah, okay, so the 1s are sort of Catherine wheeling round the grid, aren't they? Okay, what I'm seeing is one of these is a 1. Let's say it's this one. If that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 1, and that's a 1. Now the alternative is that this is a 1, and in which case that's a 1, that's a 1, and that's a 1. Yeah, okay. I think all that's doing is teaching me stuff I already knew if I use the 1 in the middle, which is that these squares are a 2-4 pair. And I don't know actually. One of these is a 1. This is weird. There's absolutely nothing here. I've got to put 3 2s in the Fistemafell ring. At least. Oh, I see. Where's 2 on the negative diagonal? It's not in those squares, and this 2 says it's not in those squares, so it's in one of those 2 squares. Now, do we know which one? If we put it here, I would have 3 2s. No, that would be the correct number of 2. Okay, so if I put it there, I would have to have 4 2s in the ring. No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I'm not thinking about this properly. There's nothing here. There's nothing to eat. It's not. It can't be. Okay, so do I have to use the grid furniture then? So I know that's the sort of the bones of a cage, and I know that this is going into that square, so that is a cage, although it might go further, but if it goes further it has to go there, because I know this square is not in the lime green cage because of that tiny marking in the north west corner of this cell. No, but until you know what this cage total is, that's not helpful at all. No, I don't like that. Sorry, I don't think that's right. Or I don't see how that can possibly lead to a deduction. I'm missing something here, aren't I? It's not potato head, is it? I've got to put what's the there is the potato head rule. I know it applies in diagonal Sudoku, and that says that if in a diagonal Sudoku or a knight's move Sudoku, if a digit doesn't appear in the Fistermafell ring, then it appears in the middle of the puzzle, and there can only be one such digit. Now here, there isn't therefore a digit. Oh, good grief, that's right. That is right. My goodness me, this is a 2. Oh my goodness, this is sick. Right, okay. Wow, that's breathtaking. Okay, that we're going to have to do some serious theory here. I apologise, but I'm going to get rid of all colours, because I am going to have to prove Fistermafell and Potato Head, I think. Okay, you may have heard me wibbling on about the Fistermafell ring. Now, the Fistermafell ring is a theorem that equates those 16 cells, those exact 16 cells around the middle of this middle box, with these cells, these 16 cells in the corner of a puzzle. And you may say, well, that can't be true. How could those cells be the exact same cells or exact same digits as these? Well, I'll show you why. And the way to do this proof is to look at these squares. Now, we can exactly, you see the green cells I've highlighted? I can exactly describe the contents of those green cells. I can't say whether this square is a 9 or that square is an 8. I've got no idea of the disposition of the digits within the green cells, but I can describe exactly what the green cells overall contain. They contain 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. How do I know that? Well, because box 4 contains 1 set, box 6 contains 1 set, row 3 contains 1 set, and row 7 contains 1 set. So undeniably, those 36 green cells are 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. Now, how would we describe these orange digits? And it's the same deal. Those orange digits, they're 4 complete columns of the puzzle, are also 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. So the green digits overall and the orange digits overall are the same set of digits. Now, how would that analysis change if we removed that cell from green and that cell from orange? If we know that the green set overall and the orange set overall are the same, and I remove the same thing from both, what could we say about what remains? Well, what remains must be the same still, mustn't it? We now can't say that it's 4 sets of the digits of 1 to 9 in green and in orange, because we've got no idea what this digit is. But we do know that the sets are still the same, and we can do that for all the cells that have 2 colours in them. We'll just take them out of both sets. Boom, there we go. Fistamafell ring proved. Now, and hopefully some of you at least, that's the first time you've seen that and your mind's blown. You can do that. Any Sudoku, just find a Sudoku on the back of a newspaper, fill it in, and tick off the digits, and you'll find it's true. Anyway, let's take this further now. There is an extension to this theory that was discovered by a constructor called Potato Head, which I first saw applied in a Knight's Move Sudoku. But I've learned over the years that it also applies in diagonal Sudoku like this. So here is the question I want to ask. Let's imagine that in this puzzle there was a digit, we don't know what digit, let's say it's the digit 8. The digit 8, let's say it didn't appear in the Fistamafell ring. What could we say about that digit? And this is going to be really cool, okay? Yeah, you never want to bump into me in a social situation. But it is cool, because we know if there is a digit, let's call it the digit 8, which is not in orange, then because of the Fistamafell theorem, it's also not in green. So in this box here, it's in one of these squares. In this box here, it's in one of these. In this box here, it's in one of those. So it's in these squares, isn't it? And the crucial thing, and remember this is a diagonal Sudoku, so this digit 8 has to appear on both diagonals. Where's it going? And you can see that because on the negative diagonal it can't be in those squares or these squares, it's going to be in one of those 3, and on the positive diagonal it's also got to be in one of these 3, and the only digit that meets both of those criteria is the central cell. So in this puzzle, if there is a digit that is not in the Fistamafell ring, it had to go in the middle of the puzzle. And there could only be one such digit, because you can't write all the Sudoku digits into the middle cell of the puzzle. Now, in this puzzle, interestingly, we've got the digit 1 in the middle. So we can say absolutely there can't be. We could see the digit 8 can't go there, can it? So there cannot be any digit in this puzzle that is not in the Fistamafell ring. And therefore, we need to think about these corner boxes. Because at the moment, we've got loads of low digits in the corner boxes, but we've got no high digits at all. We've got loads of digit 1s, loads of digit 2s, 2 digit 3s, 2 digit 4s, and a digit 5. We have not got a 6, 7, 8 or 9, yet we know there must be a 6, 7, 8 or 9 in the Fistamafell ring, and therefore in these corner boxes. So where are they going? They're going in those cells. And these cells are all different. And we can actually see that. They're forced to be different by Sudoku combined with the diagonals. But they are all different. This is a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. And that square there is not a 2. So that square is a 2. Boom. And that is very, very clever setting. Now, neither of those squares can be a 1, because the other digit would have to be a 12 in the cage. So those are not 1s. So that's a 1. Oh, lovely. Look, that's a 1 in a 9 cage. So that's an 8. This is a 1. This is a 2. This is a 1. We're just doing Sudoku now. Is it going to collapse? I think it probably is, actually, because we have just broken this open as a result of that. I love that 2 pencil mark there on the diagonal. And you can see, if you've got a bit of experience, how quickly you can see things like that. I could see immediately, once I had the idea of thinking about Potato Head, I knew I had to put high digits in the 2x2s, and I could see down here that the 2 was going to be forced out. Now, right, here's something interesting. Look at this cage. That is a 15 cage, which is disappearing under the fog. Well, I actually know it must finish here. And that's because those digits there can't be the digits 1, 2 and 3. So the minimum those digits could be here. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. Hang on, pressing all the wrong keys. The minimum we could make these 3 digits, which must be in this 15 cage, are 4, 5 and 6. And that's no good, is it? Well, that is good. That adds up to 15. But it means this cage can't go here, for example, because it would pick up another digit on top of its minimum 4, 5, 6, and it would break the 15 total. 4, 5 and 6 is already 15. So that is 4, 5 and 6. That's not 6. These are 7, 8, 9. Okay. Not quite sure what to do with that. This 15 cage is under pressure as well. Probably that one is as well. Because we must have a 3 in there. Because it's not quite the same as this one. But 1, 2 and 4 are ruled out of this one. So if it had no 3 in it, it would be a minimum of 5, 6, 7, which is 18. So it's definitely got 3 in it. And then it's got 2 digits that add up to 12 that are not 3, 9, because that would repeat the 3, and they're not 4, 8, because the 4 is up here. So this is 3, 5, 7. So that's not 7. And the same is true there, isn't it? That's the same, exactly the same, because it sees 1, 2 and 4. So this isn't 7. So the 7 in the, remember one of those has to be a 7. The 7 is in one of those 2 squares, which means in the middle box the 7 is not. The 7 is in one of, oh, no, that's horrible. The 7 is in very many places indeed. Okay, what do I do now? So I feel a chorus of people from the future shouting at me, saying, "This is what you do. Why can't you see it?" I don't know, I can't see it. Oh, hang on. That's interesting. Oh, that's lovely setting. Good grief, look at that. I know what that cage is. Because it hasn't got 1 or 2 in it. Now imagine it didn't have 3 in it. We then know, we've already looked at the principle of this from this box. If this doesn't have 3 in it, it's 4, 5, 6, and that square would be broken. So it does have 3 in it. Okay, but it's not 3, 5, 7. So the only other way of getting to 12, it can't be 3, 3, 9. There would be 2 3s in it. The only other way of getting the extra 12 we need is 3, 4, 8. So that's not 3. That's not 8. That's not 8. That's not 4. I don't know if this matters, but I'm just going to mention it because I've thought of it. The 8, there is an 8 in one of these cells, and it's now not in those squares, so there is an 8 in one of those 2 squares. So if that's an 8, that's an 8. Oh, actually, here's a different thought altogether. There is only 1 8 in green, because remember we have identity between the orange cells and the green cells. And in the orange cells, there is 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9, because that's all we managed to put in there. And the 1, 8 is there. So that means there are no 8s. There are no 8s in this 15 cage. So this is not 2, 5, 8. It's either 2, 4, 9 or 2, 6, 7. Now, if this was 2, 6, 7, that would use all the 6s and 7s from the green cells. So this would be a 3, 5 pair on the positive diagonal. How many 5s? 1, 5. There's 1 5 in the Fistermafell ring, because it's that 5. That's not 8, my Sudoku. Hang on, what on earth is going on here? I feel like I'm being a bit... My brain is not playing ball with me. Okay, right. These squares, these are 6, 8 and 9, aren't they? So that's not 8. That's just Sudoku on this box. I've got a 3, 5, 7 and a 1, 2, 4 triple. So these are 6, 8, 9. So that's going to be the same up here. That's 6, 8, 9. It's weird. We know so little about high digits. Now, what about... Okay, we've got a great big cage here, but it's got a question mark as its total. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's got 7... Right, it's got 7 different digits in it. They must be different because you can't repeat digits in a cage. Now, it doesn't have a 1 in it, because you can't put a 1 there, you can't put a 1 there, and the 1 in box 9 is in the corner. So there's no 1s in those cells. So one of the digits missing from this cage is a 1. Now, can it have a 2 in it? Not there. That could be a 2, perhaps. Oh, no, okay, maybe it can have a 2 in it. Sorry. 2, though, in column 6 is at the bottom here. How many 2s have we got? I've hardly got any 2. I felt like I knew a lot about 2s. I've got to put... Oh no, that's fine. I was going to say I've got to put 1 more 2 into green because of the Fistermafell ring. There are 3 2s in orange. I've only got 2 2s in green, but I've got a green pencil mark here with a... Well, I've got a 2 pencil mark in green here, so that is the third 2. And we've got a Catherine wheel of 1s, haven't we? In the sense, if that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 1. But there isn't a Catherine wheel of 2s in the other direction, because this cage doesn't have a 2 in it. 2, 2. Hang on. 1, 1, 1, 1. No, that's fine. That's okay, actually. No, sorry, that doesn't work. What I was trying to do there doesn't work. There's a cage here under the fog that goes to here and potentially further, but we can't see. Oh dear, I don't know what to do. Okay, so what we might have to do, although I don't relish doing it, is pencil mark these cells here. Because... no, I really don't want to do that. What I was going to say is we know that there's only 1 6, 7, 8, 9 in them. I mean, there's actually only one 6, 7, 9. I feel like if that was 6, 7, it would really put pressure on, because then the rest of the green cells, that couldn't be 6 then. That would be 4 or 5. Oh, look at 5. There's a 5 in one of those. There's a 5 in one of these. There's 5 in one of those is what that's telling us. Okay, so maybe I've got to pay more attention. Yes, there's a 5 in one of those. Because where's 5 in row 1 is the question. This cage is really annoying. It doesn't actually tell us anything. Okay, how many 3s are in? There are 2 3s in orange. So I need to put 2 3s in green. So what if neither of those was a 3? Does that make it difficult? That can't be a 3 because there's a 3 here. So there would be 3s in those positions, actually. That's interesting. And that would be a 3. Oh, is this going to break? That would be a 3. That would be a 3. No, I don't know. That might even be right. That seemed to work. Okay. Okay, sorry. What is it? I don't think I can colour these 1s and 2s, but I'm going to try. If that's whatever that is the same as that. Whatever that is, well, is different from that one. Let's make that purple, so that has to be there. I do know that blue appears here. I just don't know which cell it's in. Blue is definitely in one of those. Purple is definitely in one of those. And one of these is a 1, and we'll have a friend here. So if that's 4, that's 2, then then blackcurrant is 2. So if that's 4, that's 2, that's 2. So we get 2s in all of those positions. And if that's 4, yeah, that square is not a 2. That's quite complicated, but it's not a 2. The way I'm seeing that is, if this is a 4, then by Sudoku across the diagonal, this is a 2. So this isn't a 2. But if that's a 2, that's a 2. And that sees that square as well. So either way, that's not a 2. So 2 in column 9 is in those squares. So 2 is in one of those 3 squares, not this one. Ow, bobbins. That's very disappointing. So is that the same for that one? It probably is. Let me think about that. So if that's a 4, that's a 2. So this isn't a 2. And if that's a 2, that one's exactly the same. So okay, so right, so 2 in the bottom, so 2 in this triomino is in there, these 2 squares, which means it's looking at that. So that's a 2, which means that by the cage that's not a 2. So this is a 2, this is a 2. I did wonder whether that was going to be a 15 cage, because we had so many other 15 cages. So how many 2s have I got now? I see I've got 6, and there are 3 more to come, and I know roughly where they live. Oh, beautiful. Got something. Right, look at row 2. Where is 9? And the answer is, I don't know. But I do know that 9 is there or there. Now remember that these 4 digits are different, that these sort of row 2, column 2, row 2, column 8, row 8, column 2, row 8, column 8, they're all different. Now given the 9 in row 2 is in one of those two, you can't repeat 9 in these funny cornery digits. So I've got 9 in one of those, I've got 7 in one of these. No, I was going to say I've got 6 in one of those. That's not true. That could be 6. No. Oh, bobbins. I keep thinking I've seen things and I haven't. So if that's 6 or 8... Yeah, oh no, that's not true. That's just not true. What I was about to say is such absolute gibberish. I'm not even going to articulate it and enunciate it out loud because you would all just laugh at me. These two squares add up to 13. Is there any reason that they can't? They can't be 5, 8. So they are... Okay, that's something. Right, these two digits are either 6, 7 or 4, 9. Now that sort of makes a weird pair with that one, in the sense that if this is 6, 7, that's a 9, and if this is 4, 9, that's a 7. So 7 and 9 in column 2 are in those 3 squares, definitely, and that is not a 7. Which means that has a 7 in one of these. Which means that's not a 7 at the top of the puzzle. 7 is in one of those squares, which is where the 5 is. Oh dear. I don't think that's doing anything. It's probably this cage, he says, somewhat forlornly. But the thing is, can I lock a digit? Yeah, okay, look at column 8. Can I lock a digit into these squares? 1 doesn't have to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I can't. Oh, well, I can a bit, actually. That's not true. 8. 8 in this column is definitely in one of those squares, but I don't want it to be in the corner. What I'm trying to do is to limit or eliminate. I suppose I do know 8 is not in those squares, but I already knew it wasn't in 2 of those. So 8 is not in those squares. So 8 is either here or here. Oh, but look, that's almost... I seem to know that already. Yeah, I do know that already. Because I've got 8 in here. That digit is 3, 4. That digit's restricted. It sees 5 digits, 7 digits. So that's either 6 or 9. So that's one of these, isn't it? This one. Yes, I see. That's very pretty. Right. It's the same logic as over here. But it's the same logic as those. I.e., whatever this is, it can't repeat in the green. So if that's a 6, that can't be 6, 7. That can't be 6. There can't be any more 6s. There's only one 6 in green. If it's a 9, there's only one 9 in green. So these 3 squares here, let me just give them a quick highlight. Oh no, and that one. Those squares include the 6 and the 9 in the ring. Because if that's 9, this can't be 4, 9. And if that's 6, this can't be 6, 7. So 6 and 9 are in the yellow squares, which means that isn't a 6. That's it. I've done it. Well, I've done something. I've got a 5 here. So that's not 5 either. I didn't see that until I was just studying it. So now this is a 4. Oh, that's... No. Oh, nearly. Oh, bobbins. Oh, so nearly beautiful. Because this 4... How many 4? No, we've got 2 4s in the ring. Oh, no. I thought that was going to be great for this. But it isn't, because there are 2 4s in orange. One there and one there. So there could still be a 4 here. Oh, that was so close to being clever, wasn't it? Alright, so what do we have to do then? Have we actually got... Have I got anything from getting this digit? I must have got something from it. I get these as being 5 and 6. That's so mean. Do I get something on the diagonal? I've got 2, 3. I've got 1. Oh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on the diagonal now. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now, do they see anything? I don't think that they do, but I could be wrong. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's extraordinary to me, actually. I was absolutely convinced that I was going to at least get a few digits from that, but I don't. Right, alright, so what are we going to do? Okay, what I am going to do is I'm going to pencil mark this green ring to death, to within an inch of its life. Because I know 6 and 9. Yeah, well, I mean, what is this? I'm just going. It can be 1. It can be. Oh, hang on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I can get rid of digits from here. I just wanted to do a lunacy thing. Now, I know this can't be 6 or 9 because the 6s and 9s are in these squares. So 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Not 8 because I've already got the 8. 3, 4, 5, 7. Now, if it was 4, that would knock 4 out of here because we'd had our 2 4s in the ring. If it's 3, I need 2 3s in the ring. One of those 2 could be the second one. If it's 5, I need 1 5 in the ring. And at the moment, I've got none. And if it's 7... this would be 4, 9, and that would be 6. Wow. This doesn't work, does it? This one at least can't be 4, so maybe this one is better than that one. 3, I mean, it can be 3, 5. Well, let's put them all in. 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not 8, that's the 8. It's not 6 or 9 because they're here. 3, 5, 7. Right. That's good, because that is 3, 5, and 7 in this column. Wow. Those 3 digits seem to only be able to be 3, 5, or 7. That gets me a 6 up here. That did clear fog. So this is 5. Oh, now that 5 is useful. That's really useful, because that's putting 5 here. It's knocking 5 out of here. Have I got a 5 in the ring yet? Hang on, this is doing things. I've got 3, 7 here, so that's not 7. I've got an 8, 9 pair there. Is that legitimate? Yeah, it seems to be. So this is a 7 on the diagonal. That is the 7. So this isn't a 7. That's the 7 in these squares that we were looking for. Oh, look, that's not 6, 7 anymore. So this is 4, 9. That's not 6 because of this digit. Oh, look, that's 6. That's 60s. That one. This is 9. Here we go. Now. Oh no. Oh no, they're a 6-8 pair. I'm just hoping that was going to be resolved. Right. Okay. These squares are whoopsie. They're not 9s anymore. So. Oh, that was really exciting for a second. Okay. 5 here means this is a 3. That's cleared some fog. 5, 7 here means this is a 3. So that is a 3. That's a 3 on the ring. And we know we need a second 3, which is it's in one of those two squares. I wish I knew which one. Okay, but let's take stock of where we're up to. I've got a 4-9 pair here. You see this column? I've basically put everything into it. 6 and 8. This is a 6 or an 8 by Sudoku. Now, is that helpful? Apparently not. How extraordinary. Oh dear. All right. Okay. I am going to agree with Mark. This is a hard puzzle. It is hard. How long have I had? I've had an hour. Okay, that's fine. It's not an outrageous amount of time. I still haven't really understood the purpose of this cage at all. It did give me communication between the 2s at some stage earlier on in the solve, but I've not really used it since then. What about... I don't know. Sorry. Okay, here is a reasonable question, actually. Where is the 5 in the Fistmfell ring? Because there's a 5 in orange, so there must be a 5 in green. And weirdly, I think it has to be there. Okay, I didn't clear fog, but the 7 did. That's weird, isn't it? That's not actually done anything. So, I need a second 4. I've got 1 4. I need a second 4. It's one of those two, or that one. I need a second 3, one of these ones. I need a 7, but that could be anywhere. Okay, let's try Sudoku. 5s are in one of those squares. Now, is there a reason? Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. Where's 5 in column 8? I don't know is the answer. I really don't know, but it's definitely in one of those 3 squares. So it can't repeat in this cage, and it's not there, so that's a 5. So that's not a 5. I'd really be grateful if that did something. I mean, it means 5's in one of those. It's not on the diagonal, so 5's in one of those too. No! You rotten puzzle. You naughty puzzle. Oh, okay, 5 in this column is actually in one of those 2 squares, isn't it? Because it can't be here because of this 5. Okay, so, alright, so what I'm now starting to think is I've got to be a bit more diligent with my Sudoku. That's probably what we have to do. And the way we're going to do that is... Right. Good grief. Where is 4 in the middle box? And it's another of these questions that the answer is so pathetic. It's so pathetic. The 4 in the middle box, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo where it is, except it's not on those... Well, except crucially, it's not there. That is the key point. It is not there. So it is in one of those 3 squares. But the point about that is that they are in the same rows as that 4 that's in box 4. So in terms of rows 4 and 5 of this puzzle, there's going to be a 4 in row 4 and a 4 in row 5. So there are 2 4s. And I know that those 2 4s are in those cells, definitely. So there cannot be another 4 there, because that would be a third 4 in 2 rows of the puzzle. So this is a 3, 7 now. So that is not 7. Oh no, better. It's much better than that. So the 7 in the Fistemafel ring, and there is only one, is in one of those 2 squares. So this cannot be 6, 7. That's it. There we go. So this is 4, 9, and there can only be 1, 9. So that's a 6. This is beautiful. It's really clever, this. So this is a 6. What's that doing? Yes, that's giving me an 8 here. And that's giving me a 6. And that's giving me an 8 here. And a 9 here. And that's giving me a 9 here by Sudoku. And that's giving me a 6. And that's giving me an 8. And that's... Okay, so that's giving me a 6 over here. That did clear fog. That 6 is on the diagonal. That's 7. I've got a 7 on the diagonal as well. And this is rather pretty. One of those is definitely, one of these squares is a 9, so that's not a 9, or we wouldn't be able to put them, we wouldn't be able to make these a 4, 9 pair. So that's 8, that's 9. This isn't 8 anymore, so that's an 8. That's cleared some fog. This is a 6 by Sudoku. Okay, where is the 6 on the positive diagonal? And I think it has to be there. I think that's the only place it can go now. It can't go here. So where is 6 in row 5? And the answer is there. And that we've now cleared all the fog. We still haven't resolved all of these corner boxes. I suspect there is a way to do that I've just completely missed. And I apologise on my brain's behalf to all of you. My brain has been substandard. But never mind. We're still in the game. 5, 7, 8 here. That's definitely not 8. No, what I was about to say is not true. So I'm not again. I'm going to resist saying it. Okay, let's try this column where we need to place 4, 8, and 9. So the 8 can only go exactly there. And this is a 4. No, 4 or 9. So this is a 5, 8 pair. And we know the order. So this is a 7. This is, aha, that's 8, that's 5, that's 5, that's 5. Here we go. 3, 4, 7 into the middle box. I bet you what we can do is use the diagonal. This square can't be 4 or 7, so that's 3. This is a 4, 7, so this is 3. That's 7, that's 3, that's 4, that's 9. Beautiful. Now, this is 4 or 9. I don't know which of those it is, but it does mean that that's a 7, and that seems to work from a Sudoku perspective. Okay, what are those digits then? 7, 9. Okay, we can do that. 9, 7. 7, 4. So this column has not had a something in it. 6, I think. Right. So it's going to have to be the communication, I think, in this cage that's going to finish this off. Oh, where's 9 in column 6 is actually a simple question. It's only got one place. So that's 9, that's 4, that's 9. That 4 means that's 9. So we haven't put 4. Oh, 7 goes here then. 4 goes here. That's lovely. That's finally going to allow me to do things in these corners now. 4, 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, 1, 3. So this row needs a 4, which means that's 4, that's 3, that's 3, that's 7, and that's 1, and that is how to solve the puzzle. My goodness me, that is epic. I'm just staring at it. I'm just trying to work out whether I've made any Sudoku. What about that cage? 1, 3. Yeah, 1 and 3 are missing, but I think it's got everything else in it. Wow. That's very, very clever setting and exhausting. It's exhausted my brain, BremSter and Sotek. You have reduced me to a jelly-like blob of shimmering nonsense. Now, is it right? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. Oh my goodness me. Hang on, that's had a lot of solves in a very long time. Wow. Okay. It's quite an old, but it's over a year old. But it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on with that. Let me know, did I miss some stuff with the orange cells? Could I have resolved, the low digits faster? I feel like that's probably likely. And forgive me if that's the case, but I do think that is a spectacularly clever puzzle. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Yeah, as I say, let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.